Hey, so one more video, I guess. Before I have to, it looks like I have to go either seek asylum or apply for temporary protected status in Canada. Um, it's too hard to get to Europe. Otherwise, I might have gone there, honestly, because Canada's not the best option either right now. But if I can get like protected status temporarily, um you know, maybe at some point the FBI or some other agency will start actually getting people to like stop framing people with things and stop false charges and like stop doing all the things that they're doing because law enforcement is way out of control right now. Um, you all know that I've been saying people have been in my accounts for months, and it's been a really big problem. A lot of some of those people have appeared to have connected themselves with the prosecutor's office in the municipal court building. Um, I got a phone call last night from a lawyer that wasn't my lawyer, but he was claiming that he owns North County Public Defense. And he was talking about some things that sounded a little bit weird. Um, didn't really make sense, but most of the conversation made sense. But he kind of he had said some things that sounded a lot like things that somebody had said on the phone before, where they were talking about stuff that didn't make sense, and I couldn't tell what they were going with. I couldn't tell what they were talking about, and so he might have been the same person, but um, I didn't think that they got my phone today, except for I know that when I got up off the chair at Village Books, and there wasn't anybody super suspicious looking that I had seen. Right then. This was later in the afternoon. I was sitting there. It wasn't too late in the afternoon. I think it was like noon actually. I was sitting there and I got up and I think I did have my phone right here at the edge of my hip or whatever while I was on my laptop. In a nice comfy chair, and so I got up and I don't remember when I got up seeing my phone there. I remember it not being there. In fact, I almost feel like I remember looking at the chair and not having it be there. And then I realized walking past about two bookshelves length, my phone was not in my pocket and it was not with my stuff. And so I turned around and it was sitting on the chair. So I was like, oh, did I just leave that there for a second? Because it was only, I walked away from it for like 5 seconds and it's okay? Or did someone just have my phone and as soon as I got up, they put it there? Um, which is highly possible. And I think that they may have had my phone. But I did notice one thing, that they either got a hold of my phone right then or they did it remotely. because this person called me at night on Sunday, and all of my phone calls for Sunday are gone off my phone. I've been through this before with several different phone calls, but they erased them off my phone. And when I called North County Public Defense, and it said, when it called me, it said North County Public Defense on it. Even though that's not in my contacts, it said that on the phone when I answered it. Okay. This was like when they were not open. So that raises a lot of suspicions as to what's going on. And who I was actually talking to. Because it probably was a spoofed number. And the thing about it is that almost every time I've talked to these people with this lawyer group, they have a tendency to not know what my court date is. They don't know anything about court. They don't seem to know what happened. We're at square one every time you talk to anybody, and you keep on talking to lots of different people. And it's been a year. So I have my suspicions who I might have been talking to, who may not have been a lawyer. But in any case, they erased it on my phone again. I don't know why nobody's helping me. I mean, the only thing I can think of is that the videos that I've talked about many, many times, how I was on my iCloud, I was recording on my iPad and having it go to iCloud, where I was pretending to be other characters because I was mad about Bellingham allowing crime. So I was like, "Hi, I'm Mary. I went and did this." Um, None of those crimes are stuff that I would do. And that should have been obvious, but I don't know. Like, they could have easily edited those to make it look like I admitted to shit. Um, and that's all I can think of in terms of, people lying about me trying to get people to not help me and acting like, I mean, the kinds of shit that I'm going through, if this is actually law enforcement, the kinds of shit that I'm going through should be being done to people that do crime, that actually live a life of doing crime, not someone like me that's never done anything wrong in their life and has lived a really good, honest, very, very honest life. This is obviously being done because I'm ugly, but the reason why I'm fat and ugly is highly likely medical, because of the medical system making my body look like this. Because I can tell you right now, it's not because I eat too much. That's for damn sure. Not when people are stealing like $70 a month out of my food stamp card and stealing all my food all the fucking time. Every time I buy food. Why am I fat like this? That's what I don't get. Why the fuck am I still fat like this? I don't understand that. Unless they've been literally like drugging me with mental health meds behind my back while I'm sleeping or some shit. Like, I don't even understand how it's physically possible for me to be this big. It does not make sense. I barely eat. And I've been barely eating for months, and I don't think I've lost 1 pound. I've seriously, like, I can't tell you how many times recently, with all the theft of food stamps and all the theft of food that's been going on for the last couple months, 3 months, 4 months, ever since June, really. Ever since they stole my phone and had been in all my accounts, and I had to buy a $500 phone and all this other shit that I've been trying to do to mitigate it. They've been taking all my food every time I buy food. Anytime there's food in my bags, they've been taking it. Anytime I lock it up, even if I have my toolbox with me and I padlock it, they still get through the padlock. They still get through my leg lock on my hiking pack and steal all my food. I like, like there's just no way. There's no way to keep them out. Um, I I'm eating probably like you got those little personal sized bag of chips. I'll eat like one of those and a bread roll with some cheese slices in it, like 2 cheese slices in it, and that's the entire day of food plus the soda. I mean two sodas, two normal, you know, cans of soda. So I don't know how I'm this fat unless they're literally doing something to make me fat. They're like injecting me with shit or something like that. Because I honestly, with everything that they're doing, I wouldn't even be surprised at this point. Like with them being in all my accounts and doing all the things that they're doing. My face doesn't look like a human being's face. And I don't use drugs and I don't drink. And I haven't drunk since like 20. Actually, like 22, sorry. About 22. And I never was like a big drinker or anything like that. Like, at least not after probably like 19. So, and of course back then I was thin. But anyway, they erased my phone calls. They freaking erased my phone calls again. And I remember that there was a weird phone call with somebody that was partly speaking a different language. Um, and I was trying to figure out who it was. It was some kind of really weird phone call, and I couldn't figure out what they were talking about. And that happened right before they reset my phone, which is this old track phone. They reset this one at Hagen's. That phone call happened right before that. Um, and I couldn't figure out if that was why, but I was like, well, okay, so like they erased my phone. I know that they erased a couple of different times when I had this phone a couple months ago. A couple different times they erased the calls off. Like all the calls, just completely erased them off the phone. Um, and I know that it happened after some really interesting calls happened. Because I know that there's like people that speak some other language that I can't figure out what language it is, and it's usually, it's from this country. Like, I mean, it might not even be from this country. It might be a spoofed number that makes it look like it's from this country. Um, but yeah. So anyway, that's not the only thing that's going on. So the lawyer's office, interestingly enough, when I did call them, and they did have convincing sounding people that I was probably talking to the lawyer's office, which might not even exist. Um, the public defense attorney's office, which has now changed its number to a 384 number, even though it says they're still in Bellingham, oddly. Let me see. Yeah, it says they're still on Iowa Street, but, or, excuse me, oh, that's a 684 number. A 684 number. But they changed it, and, they had, I had told them that I needed to talk to my lawyer or the owner again. It was really important, and she said that he would get back to me tomorrow evening, and that's after court. So they're acting like they don't even know they're supposed to be at court tomorrow. And I don't know if they're acting like that because they want me to rush down there and get arrested for all of their fake stuff that they've been doing behind my back. But now all of a sudden, like last night, like when I talked to him, when they erased the call, when I talked to that guy, we were talking a lot about how my court date was tomorrow. Now all of a sudden I call the office, they don't know my court date's tomorrow. This is way too long. This is way too long, so I'm gonna stop it. But I definitely wanted to make the point that um uh this is mostly violence that I'm trying to stay away from. I had several days ago during one of my unconscious spell stuff going on that I go through. Um, oh, another thing that's really important to mention. So, everybody was trying to tell me that I was schizophrenic for believing that I went unconscious during the plane ride towards Vegas. The dude that I was talking about, and I feel like one of the videos I put up, I talked about him. The librarian had uh helped him after I was trying to get my phone back because my phone had disappeared. Um, and it turned up in the library's lost and found. I believe I talked about that incident in a video where shit, what is the title of that video? Can I look that up while I'm on this? Yeah. Is it still recording if I do this? I hope it's still recording. I don't know what happens when I do that. So, It would have been called Bellingham Gigantic Civil Rights Violations. I believe it's that video. Oh geez, now I can't move this. And I was talking about how the librarian had helped this one dude that I'd seen a couple times. It just dawned on me, and this is the part that really sucks about what they've done to my brain and my head with all these electrocution stuff and knocking outs and the going unconsciousness and the things that they've done to make me go unconscious and all that. It just dawned on me that he was the guy at the airport. No, I'm serious. He was the guy at the airport. He was the dude at the airport. Was my phone missing at that? I don't think my phone was missing at that time, wasn't it? I don't think my phone was missing at that time. My iPhone. I should have had my iPhone still then. Um, but he's the dude from the airport. So he might be who knocked me out then on the airplane. Um, anyway, um, so yeah, that's been interesting. Suddenly remembering. Because I kept on being like, I know I've seen that guy. I know I've seen that guy. And like, it just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, that's the dude from the fucking airport. So, yeah. Um, and I was gonna say that it just got to this point where I was going through this thing where my head was going down, like this, like without, I couldn't control it. Um, it feeling like it's happening because of the injuries that I've gone through. And I was thinking about how, if I stay in places like Port Townsend or Bellingham, it's just gonna keep on happening. The police have never done anything. They've never even come out. They've never even tried to find anybody. And there's a camera at the library, and even when I've said something, like, they're not going to check the cameras. Um, and these people will have something to do with the prosecutor's office. And then there's the fact that the police injured me when they arrested me, and I didn't do anything wrong. And then they were making me go unconscious at the jail. Um, so it got to the point where I was like, I can't let them do this. I can't let them get away with this. I can't keep on having this happen. Like they're gonna wind up killing me. Like straight up. And nobody cares. Like literally nobody cares. I mean, that's where we're at in our community right now. That's where we're at in our city. Um, you can't just keep on taking on injuries to the head all the time. Just so people can get on your phone. I either must have somebody willing to give me money and I don't know about it, and they're the ones conversing with them, or they're my stuff is selling a whole bunch and they're getting all my money. Because at this point, you know, the prosecutor's office is trying to erase any evidence I have of being a good person. But they've already erased it. And these people are still going. It's still going and still going and still getting all my stuff. I don't know if they're afraid that I'm gonna say who it is that burned down Hawaii or did the Gaza watermelon stuff, or you know, the the real truth is I don't know who it is. I don't know who I was talking to. I don't know who was calling me. And they erased their numbers off the phone right away afterwards. Not this one. That would have been my iPhone that they stole. But it was erased right afterwards. And I thought that was really weird because, and people were like, how did they erase it off? How would they erase it off? You're crazy, you're skits. Well, I've even had people erasing the freaking number of my lawyers. I don't know, dude. I freaking don't know. Like, I'm dealing with some hefty shit right now, and I don't know why I even have to be dealing with this shit. Um, yeah, it's already at 27 minutes, so I actually, um, people don't want to act like it, but I actually value my health. I value my body and I value my ability to think and be smart and that sort of thing. I really value that, and I don't like the idea of retards living because, it's not like I want people to go around killing people or anything like that, but it came out really wrong. It came out really wrong. I don't like the idea of people being acting like lazy vegetables, um, not contributing to society at all. And I've never liked the idea of people consuming air and water and food and everything without doing anything worthwhile as a human being because we're overpopulating the planet. And so I'm not okay with people beating me over the head unconscious so that it's harder for me to do things in life. Um, I shouldn't even have to explain that, right? I shouldn't even have to explain that. Nobody should have to go through people beating their heads, especially if they're not bad people. It's one thing if somebody's stealing your car or something, but um you don't need to make them brain dead, but that's a whole other thing. Um, I don't like thieves. I don't like thieves. It's more than 30 minutes, so I reserve the right to protect my body. I don't care if you call me fat. It's not my fault. I'm not even eat that much. I like honestly, I'm not even eating that much. I don't know what was done to my body to do this. I really don't. I really, really don't. I have a feeling that people might actually be putting me on meds against my will because nothing else really makes sense. But um that's just another thing that people can call crazy. But everything else that's happening is crazy, right? People beating my head in to get to my phone. What kind of earth do we live on? So everybody's treating me like I'm not a human being, and it's yeah, I reserve the right to protect my body, which means I might have to leave the country because it's not a paranoid delusion that the jail is dangerous for me or that the police are dangerous for me right now. It's been made very, very clear that people are doing shit to me right now. That it's not in my head. It's been made very, very clear. So, yeah. I am going to have to go to Canada tomorrow. I kind of forced it myself into Canada because I didn't get a visa and I should have gotten a passport a long time ago. And I was afraid of, honestly, like I was really afraid that of flying because I was like, oh shit, when they wouldn't let me on the boat to Canada. Um, I was like, oh shit, I'm not supposed to be flying because I could die on the flight. I could pass out and die from whatever I have. And then I was like, well, but I know that somebody beat me in to make me like that. There's no way I did it on my own. Like, there's no way that that just happened on its own. Like, I still don't know how that could have happened on its own. Um, People had been kind of convincing me of that, or trying to, that it was that nobody would have done anything to me. But then that's what made me recognize that guy and be like, wait, like he's the dude on the plane. He's the dude on the plane, and now he's stealing my phone. So he's part of the group that's doing shit to me. And I've been knocked out a bunch more times and stuff like that. And so when I'm going unconscious and I say I can't tell if I was knocked out or I'm going unconscious, that's why. Because I don't know, I don't know how they come up to me and do it so fast. For one, like how do they do that without me knowing, like, and seeing it happen? It's just, yeah. Anyway, he's the same dude. So, um, I don't know if I can go fly into Europe either at the same time. I also don't know if they'd kill me on a plane going to Europe. So,